Hello all, welcome back to One Pitch Catch. In the 93, when India won against West Indies in the 1983 World Cup, West Indies were pretty much top of the pile as far as limited overs definitely was concerned, and I think well on their way to becoming Test champions as well. They had won two World Cups. They were unbeaten so far in the 83 World Cup, although there were upsets all around, like Australia got beaten, West Indies never really got beaten. I think India beat them, obviously. And then after that, they came to India. So this World Cup ends in June, and then they undertake a tour of India sometime in October, November. It's a six-match Test series and a five-match ODI series. And I think we touched upon it in one of the earlier videos after
Yes,
India won against West Indies in the semi-finals of the Women's World Cup a couple of months ago.
Australia,
West Indies
India,
won that.
India,
Yeah,
Australia.
sorry, yeah. And West Indies won that 1983 ODI series 5-0. 5-0. It's just a ridiculous result. And that was not a bad Indian side. It still had the same folks from the World Cup win. And we spoke about how Australia would be waiting. Guess what? I mean, I think the T20s went on pretty well for India. Maybe Australia were a little caught unaware from a T20 perspective, but did they give it back in the ODIs? That the first two games were very easily won. India's batting never really took off. And then you had the third game in which they scored 408.
Nine,
That's yeah,
409.
409. And that's probably in the top four or five women's ODI totals of all time, if you exclude maybe games against some minor teams. Alisa Healy and Beth Mooney just took apart India's bowling, which had served them pretty well through the World Cup. It must have been bad to watch. Ganesh, what did you think about what happened?
Exactly. The 99 ball 158 by her reminded me of Viv Richards' 99 ball 149, the 1983 series that you're talking about. And and in a 45, I mean, in a game to a 45 over game, West Indies would score
Oh,
333. Okay.
that's almost like eight and over, seven and a half and
At
over or
seven
something
and a
like
half runs in over in 1983. And Viv Richards got a 149 of 99 balls. This is
that. Okay.
very similar to Alisa Healy's innings, where, I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, I still remember that game when Viv Richards hit a flat six over mid wicket of Ravi Shastri. I mean, Ravi Shastri ended up with 7-0, 77, and I think he picked a wicket. But it was, I mean, it was not Ravi Shastri's fault. It was the
Yeah. Yeah.
greatness of Viv
It's
Richards
Viv
and
Richard.
I think Gordon Greenidge also got 100 in that game. So that, but it is
And Beth
similar
Mooney
to
gets
that.
100 here.
Similar mauling to that is Beth Mooney and Alice Healy, what they did to us. How can you beat us in a World Cup
Yeah.
semi-final?
Yeah.
Is that's
Because Australia
exactly.
were very similar prior to that. They had, after the 2017 semi-final where Harmanpreet scored that 170, they were unbeaten in ODI World Cups. And again, you get, and it's very similar. Like, how dare you?
Exactly. That's exactly what they did to
I hope
India
this
this
doesn't
time.
scar them because I think from a men's cricket perspective, I think it took India a good 10 years to even start looking West Indies in the eye again.
No, I think, but now with various formats and all those things with T20 and all, I think the Indian women won't be scarred that much. But this was a mauling by Australia just to take revenge on the World Cup semi-final loss. I definitely feel, and especially with Alisa Healy retiring after this,
Oh
and
yeah, it's the last. Yeah.
I mean, she made it really count. Her last ODI was such a fabulous innings. She hit 27 fours, Jaga. I just can't fathom a fact that somebody hitting 27 fours of 98 or 99 balls they faced. It is just
Yeah, that's one
unbelievable.
every
Three balls.
third or fourth ball she's sitting about either.
And there is a couple of sixes also. So you
Yeah,
can make it as every third ball is a boundary.
yeah,
So this insane batting. I mean, we know what she is capable of and
yeah.
what Australia is capable of, and see, in fact, this is we should give it to the Indian girls because this they are playing away from home. Australia are playing at home. What West Indies did to India in the men's
Was
was
yes.
was,
In
was away
Indian.
from home for West Indies. Okay, so that way and also the women had won the T20 series before that.
Yeah.
Credit to the girls for that. but it is very, there are a lot of similarities to that series, that
Right.
83 revenge that West Indies took on India, to this what Australia women did to the India women. Yes.
Yeah, it would have been a good. I mean, had the Indian team been able to beat Australia, it would have been a nice thing because I think last year they beat England in T20s and ODIs. So it would have been another place that they basically won in two formats. Not to be the. I think there's a test coming up. Well, we'll see how it goes. And on that topic, we'll use that to just switch it into sort of credits and kudos for another team, Jammu and Kashmir, the newest Ranji Trophy champions. First time ever they're there. I think they were in the quarterfinals maybe around 8, 10 years ago. And then again, last year they came very close to qualifying for the knockout stage. They missed getting the
They lost to
innings
Mumbai,
lead
I
by
think.
one
They
run.
lost to Mumbai. I think they
Yeah, but
lost to
before that
Mumbai.
they missed getting the lead by one run. The first innings lead they missed by one
Yes.
run, so that meant that they didn't get through. But this time was a clinical performance. Like you go into bat and then you put up 500, and then you make early inroads with the ball. I mean, Auqib, Nabi getting KL Rahul, Karun, and Smaran out all within the space of a first initial spell. Basically, Karnataka was catching up all the time. But staying on Auqib Nabi, he's done pretty well over the last couple of seasons, right?
Awesome, Jaga. Awesome, Jaga. I mean, the way Auqib Nabi has worked, I mean, he's been rewarded with a big IPL contract, but I'm sure he would be wanting to play in whites for India also at some point of time. The way he's done this, almost single-handedly, is won the Ranji Trophy this year for Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, there are a lot of people can argue with that point, that is single-handed thing, but because there is a lot of been batting contributions, bowling contributions, overall there have been a couple of great catches that they've taken, that is doing the routes and all those things is there. But Akib Navi has turned up match after match after match. Every game he's performed. And in fact, some people argue for this final that once the toss was done and Jammu Kashmir decided to bat, it was a foregone conclusion that Jammu Kashmir would win. No, it's not that way, because they early inroads, what Akib Navi did, the Prasid Krishna, Vidyadhar didn't do for when Jammu Kashmir batted, and they
Correct.
got to close to 600. And
Yeah.
even when they batted again, Jammu Kashmir in the third innings of the game, they
Yeah.
scored
Correct.
340 runs for the loss of just 4 wickets. So which,
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, Karnataka, out of 293, one man, Mayan, scored 160 runs.
Fine score 160. Yeah.
So the other
Uh,
130 runs were scored by remaining people. So which means Akif Nabi did something really great on
yeah.
a wicket which was not suited for fast bowling
Correct.
or conditions. So I think a lot of credit. I don't know if we will see him in whites playing for India. Let's see, but he has a lot of credit for what Jammu Kashmir has achieved this time in Ranji.
And he's been very consistent also. So that also comes into the picture, right? And you've been doing it for 2 seasons. He's probably 29 or something like that. But I don't think that should come in the way, right? You pick people at the right time and then give them the opportunities. You think about other countries like Australia or even England to some extent, and New Zealand, they pick people in their mid to late 20s and they give them 5 years of good international cricket. I think that's all you can ask for, right? I mean,
It
the
is
number of times you get people that are, say, less than 25 actually going on to give a long career is not that frequent. And so I think we should just make sure that people get the opportunities at the right time.
definitely, Jagasi. I think we should stop obsessing about wanting them, catching them young, and all those things. You might get one or two Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Sachin Tendulkar here and there, but you can't. You need to see for I mean, Sanju Samson. We talk so much about. He made his debut
Yeah.
when he was
It
20.
takes such a long time, right?
Yesterday, he's made the greatest innings of his life. Yesterday, he played when he's 31. Probably another four,
Yeah.
5 years of great cricket is left on him. So that way, you should not be so obsessed with catching them at 20, 21. No, it's okay. It's okay to get them later also. I mean, I think it's a great thing if Akib Nabi can. I mean, if he can bowl well for 3, 4 years for India, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
he could be that bridging gap between Bumrah and the next set of generations that may
Correct.
come in. So that would be great. Let's see
Absolutely. Yeah.
what the selectors have in mind.
And going back to what Conrad Shukri mentioned, did Jammu and Kashmir make Karnataka grovel by not enforcing the follow-on?
No, I think Karnataka got what they sowed. I think because they in the semi-finals they should have enforced follow and but they went on batting and unnecessarily. Because, I mean, probably they will argue that they wanted batting practice for the final, which didn't turn out to be well in the final. But I think that's what Murpagal Seyyan Pirpagal Vilayam type is only it's happened. I feel Jaga. They should not have batted again in the semi-finals. I strongly felt. So probably if they didn't bat again, they would have given more exposure to their bowlers, which is what they wanted in the final.
And they got a lot of it. So maybe it was all planned out well in the first place. Great,
Mm.
and obviously, congrats to the Jammu and Kashmir Cricket Association, all the administrators, the coaching staff. Ajay Sharma as the head coach, who was brought in a few years ago. Then Paras Dogra, who's had a career that's gone multiple places, and you obviously, and I think Jammu and Kashmir are probably among the fourth or fifth team that have won the Ranji Trophy in the last decade. So it's pretty good. I mean, you've got used to like Mumbai winning every alternate tournament, and then Karnataka coming in every now and then Saurashtra, Vidarbha. Now it's a lot more varied. That's always great, which is good. But the important thing is to be able to take this talent and get them into the A team setup. Like Paras Dogra was apparently in the India A team almost a decade ago, but he just got one match, and after that he's nowhere. So I hope that doesn't happen to a lot of these cricketers, whether it's from Jammu and Kashmir or Karnataka or any of the other teams that are there. And like we spoke about how Bihar is now in the elite stage, so hopefully a lot more exposure for Vaibhav and the others. So. Congrats once again to the new champions, new Ranji Trophy champions. I guess the scrutiny starts now.
I think it's kind of a redemption for Ajay Sharma also. After all that
Yeah.
he's gone through, whether whatever is true, whatever is not true is a different story. But all that is with whatever he's gone through, I think it's a kind of redemption. I mean, he's kind of done what Chandrakant Pandit did with Madhya Pradesh, and
MP.
he's
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Great. Thanks a lot. Once again, we'll come back again in a few days' time. In the meantime, please keep watching, subscribe, leave your comments and feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.